Welcome to the Class Business Podcast. Today we are joined by my good friend Fatema, a children's activity business strategist and a business owner with 12 years of experience building her Tots Play franchise. She is self-taught, she's system-focused, and she's passionate about helping providers build confident, profitable businesses without the burnout. Today she's here to share her business journey and why she decided to train as a business strategist through my academy. Can't wait for this conversation. Let's dive in. Fatema, it's so good to have you here today. Tell everyone who you are, what do you do, and where do you do it?
Super, thank you for having me. So I'm Fatema. I run Tots Play Birmingham South Central, which is a franchise of Tots Play UK. I've been running that for just over 11 years now. And I also last year launched my very own business called Ilm to Iman, which is a parent coaching service for Muslim parents to make Quran learning more fun, effective and stress-free for both parent and child at home. So I launched that last year, and that's been my little project that I've been working on alongside Tots Play.
Oh, so Tots Play, this is your 12th year in business?
Yes.
Yeah, so and I remember when you we just said like your 10th birthday party, and I can't believe that's 2 years ago.
Yeah, it feels like it was yesterday, but we did a massive party for our 10-year celebration. Did a full jungle theme party, invited all of our past customers back. It was epic.
Oh yeah, I remember it. Wow, I can't believe it's 2 years though. So let's go back to when you first started your business. So first of all, why did you join Tots Play? What? First of all, did you know anything about franchising, or was it completely new to you?
No, I didn't. So I actually graduated from university. I had done a degree in business and accounting, just because it seemed to be the way forward and a way to make my parents proud that I had this amazing degree. And then got onto a graduate job, which was office-based. And within 2 weeks, I just wasn't myself anymore. I just felt like the robotic 9 to 5 wasn't for me, sitting in front of a screen in an office, like with no people, to talk to. And everything was, even with the clients, it was all done through email. And it just wasn't me. And I almost lost my spark, and my family members picked up on that. That's something's not right here. So I kind of ventured out into what should I be doing, and I was just browsing. I've always had a passion for having something of my own and running my own business. My dad had his own business, so I think the inspiration came from there. And I was just browsing different ideas, and I've always had a passion of working with children, but I didn't necessarily want to go into being a nursery nurse. And it was quite spontaneous that just while searching, I came across Tots Play. And I didn't have children of my own at the time, so I'd not been to any baby classes or anything. But I just reached out to Helen at head office and just said, I'm really interested in this, but I don't have children. Is that a problem? Is it still something I can find out more about? Had a call with her, went to Wales to actually see the classes in person. Literally rang my parents and was like, can you come down and have a look at this? I absolutely love it. And from seeing the class, my mum and dad were both like, this is you. We can see you doing this. And I think that for me just solidified, do you know what? I just need to try it. What's the worst that can happen? And the ball just got rolling from there. And I mean, it's 12 years ago now, so it all seems like a bit of a blur.
It's a long time.
It was just meant to be.
It's a long time that you've been in business, and over those 12 years, you've probably seen so much change. So actually, tell me, how did you launch your very first class? Because I bet that is so much different now to how people launch now.
Completely different. So my launch, I did a free launch party for 2 of our classes. But the way I got customers in was literally for a week. I walked up and down the high street with launch posters and leaflets and handed them out and said, this is something new that's starting down the road. I remember speaking to a customer in Costa who literally stayed with me for 3 years after that. But initially speaking to people in that capacity was so out of my comfort zone. That lady that became my customer for 3 years was the first person I approached in Costa, and I was almost like, oh, I know how it feels like to be bombarded with leaflets when you're walking up and down the high street just trying to get your jobs done. And now here I am being that annoying person. But her response to me was just so lovely that after that I was like, do you know what? I'm on fire. I just need to do this.
Keep going,
My
keep
launch
going.
party was fully booked with 2 classes, and literally the week after that, I had paying customers. But now things are just so different.
So obviously no Facebook at that time. I don't think there was. I'm trying to think when I was in business, only just had started to emerge. No, obviously Instagram, probably obviously just website, Google search.
No, it wasn't. I mean, it wasn't like the groups and stuff weren't there. I definitely had a Facebook page, but I remember because I'd launched it, it was all my family and friends that all just liked my page.
Yeah.
Like advertising to people that already know me and don't have children that they can bring to my classes anyway.
Oh my God, those were the days.
Nice to have the moral support though.
Yeah. So you just did the old traditional marketing, which is walk the streets and speak to people and hand out leaflets.
I used to do a lot of community events and stuff as well. Like every weekend I was somewhere. And for me, I just felt like because Tots Play wasn't predominant in the area, it was just about getting the name out, getting my face out, that this is me behind the business, which at the time I didn't realise was such a great thing to do. Obviously later on down the years when, you know, things like marketing and stuff really evolved within the children's activity industry.
So yeah, let's talk through that part. So when did you start seeing the shift in terms of how to market your business or what you had to do in order to get bookings?
So I would say the first 2 to 3 years was a lot of trial and error. That didn't work this time. What did I change? So it was almost like I just created a script for myself of what's working and what's not.
I love that. You still got those books?
I've got so many notebooks.
Oh my God, we should dig them out. There's like probably like treasures and golds in there, like for sure. So that's so interesting actually, because I just saw someone post on Instagram saying about the problem is that people are not prepared to be in it long enough to get success, and they give up after a year or so because they're not getting, you know, the success that they dreamed of, when in fact you've just told us like it took to year 4 to start getting the really good referrals and word of mouth, and obviously you've got raving fans by then who are doing the heavy lifting for you. And so it's so interesting that you say that, because so many people who start a business in that first year, and the whole fact that you're saying trial and error, I did a lot of trial and error. I went back to dig them out. It's like probably like treasures and golds in there, like for sure. So that's so interesting actually, because I just saw someone post on Instagram saying about the problem is that people are not prepared to be in it long enough to get success, and they give up after a year or so because they're not getting, you know, the success that they dreamed of, when in fact you've just told us like it took to year 4 to start getting the really good referrals and word of mouth, and obviously you've got raving fans by then who are doing the heavy lifting for you. And so it's so interesting that you say that, because so many people who start a business in that first year, and the whole fact that you're saying trial and error, I did a lot of trial and error. I went back to my notebooks. I looked at what worked last time, what didn't work this time. And it's a fact that people come into a business now and set up a business and sometimes I feel like they think they should have instant success.
Yeah. I mean, a bit stereotypical, but I feel like people coming into a franchise almost feel like because the business model is tried and tested, it should just work. I don't think people realise that you've still got to put in a lot of work. Yes, you'll get the lesson plans, you'll get the music, you'll get guidance, but in your area, there's going to be something that you need to do to make yourself stand out. And I feel like, especially buying into a franchise, people think like, oh, why have I not made money in the first year? But it's not as simple as that.
No, for sure. No, I completely agree with you. Yeah, and it's just interesting that is the mindset of what happens now. Yeah, like people think it's tried and tested, therefore it equals success. Yes, to a degree, but yeah, you've still got to be the person that actually physically does the work. So, okay, so the first 3 years in your business, trial and error, figuring out what worked. Year 4 kicks in with friend referrals, word of mouth, and everything else. So talk me through the next stage.
Well, then social media happened. It's a whole new world. I think that must have been, year 6, year 7? Suddenly there's this boom of Instagram, and it's like, oh, post all these pictures. And Instagram was predominantly picture-based at that point. So now it's like, okay, now I need to add in this extra thing in my classes of making sure I'm getting lovely pictures to post. And it almost felt like there's a whole new burden and a whole new side of the business that needs managing now.
Yeah, I'm just thinking that because before, like, yeah, you've done the streets, you've walked, you've given out flyers, you've been to community events, you're doing that whole in-person marketing. Then obviously you move to the point where you've done your time in the trenches and people are recommending you and everything else, which is exactly what you want. But then social media gets thrown into the mix and you're like, oh, now I've got a whole nother chunk of work that I didn't have before that I now need to do. And it used to be a lot easier though, because you could just post on your Facebook page and everybody would see stuff.
Yeah.
Not anymore. not anymore. So social media, what were your go-to platforms then? What ones do you enjoy?
Early days of social media, Facebook was the go-to. I think just because it was the biggest, most people were on it. And then over time, Instagram came along. Initially, I wasn't the massive fan of Instagram. It took me to do a lot of training to actually use it. And, you know, I used to do like the bare minimum on there just to get me out and into the crowd. However, now Facebook is like my bare minimum. And Instagram's where I spend all my time. But I love Instagram as a platform myself. It's where I spend free time, doom scrolling sometimes. But, you know...
Yeah, no, I know. I know you said you like you definitely prefer Instagram to Facebook. So then obviously, yeah. So the role of your business changed because you had to add in the mix social media. So that's year 6 to 7. Then what was the next part of your journey?
So I feel like social media sort of came alongside still doing lots of in-person events, and then slowly over time, everyone stopped doing in-person events and it was all, oh, share this on social media and let's promote this together and collaborate and things like that. So, I mean, even till today, I do miss doing those in-person events. Like, it's just something different seeing people in flesh. I'm hoping they do come back.
Oh, they're definitely coming back.
But yeah, like we used to have loads of community events and stuff, which was just so lovely. But I mean, through that, I did make lots of connections and stuff, which was really nice. And I still speak to a lot of those people that I met many years ago. But yeah, I think over time, everything's just become so digital.
Yeah. And then obviously you had COVID that hit, which definitely accelerated the digital world. And did you move online? Did you do everything online?
So my daughter was 8 weeks old when the first lockdown was announced. So for the customers that had paid for that term, I had class leaders that were going to carry on running in-person classes while I took a little break. When we went online, obviously they weren't confident enough to do the sessions online. I mean, neither was I, but it was business, so it was be all end all. So for the term that they had paid for, I took my sessions online. And then I decided I'm going to take a break because it was just too much trying to manage a newborn and feeding schedules and Zoom sessions. And it was all just a bit much. And it was so up and down and you're allowed to do this and now you're not allowed to do this, that I just decided, you know what, I'm just going to take a break. And I just said to all my customers, like, right, I'm not taking any money off you. We're just going to pause and I'm just going to hope and pray that when I'm ready to come back, you'll come back with me. And luckily they did. When we were allowed to restart in person, I was not planned, but I ran 5 days of classes, Monday to Friday. And before I even opened up bookings, my waiting lists were chock-a-block.
So I was going to say, so we probably had a period where you paused, and then when the doors were open again, the business went up because obviously there was a massive surge across all the businesses in terms of parents looking to do activities as soon as they could with their children.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it definitely wasn't how I planned maternity leave, because my daughter at that point was only 9 months old, and the plan was not to leave her 5 mornings a week. But luckily, her dad could just look after her, because it was sort of a situation where if I don't come back now, the business is gone. People are waiting to book, so it would be silly of me not to restart. But yeah, I started back. I was running Monday to Friday. And all my classes were fully booked with waiting lists. So I could have potentially added more classes and still been full, but it was just finding that balance between keeping the business going, but still having that time with my little girl as well.
Yeah, because it's precious moments, and you've in essence missed that because of the whole situation. So obviously COVID happened, business reopened, and then obviously stabilised. And obviously I think we're seeing the stabilisation now, because obviously it's the market's been shifting with all the different announcements for government. So from your perspective, what have you seen in probably the last 2 to 3 years in your business that's changed since COVID?
So I think marketing has become tricky again. I feel like there's just so many options for parents now. There's lots of new providers popping up and then disappearing, and someone else is popping up. So, it's definitely the shift on marketing has come back in that, yes, word of mouth is happening for me, and I've got, almost 12 years of customer base, which is lovely, and they'll spread the word for me. But I still feel like I am in the last few years back to getting my face out there. This is me. This is what I do. Things like, going live on social medias, being present in the environment, in the community as well. I still walk up and down my high street with my hoodie on, with leaflets in my hand, and I have gone back to sort of those old school moments. I almost found that because social media is just so noisy, I've seen other businesses in the local area that I've not seen anywhere except for in Facebook groups. And I know from that trial and testing phase that I need to do something that other people aren't, just to keep myself going and make myself stand out. So now when I hand someone a leaflet, you can almost see the shock on their face, like, oh, you've just been given a leaflet. Like, that doesn't happen anymore.
For sure. No, and then for the last 2 years, I mean, you've done amazing things like your live interviews on Instagram with other providers to like collaborate to really add that value. And you've done loads of work around building your personal brand and building a team, because I know that was a big thing for you, was helping to get this team in place. And that's taken, a couple of years to really get there, hasn't it?
Yeah, that's been a journey on its own, to put it nicely.
It is. It's one of the hardest things, isn't it, to recruit staff, to bring staff on board is really, really challenging.
Yeah, you're handing your baby and passion over into someone else's hands. Like, now if something goes wrong or a customer's not happy, it's not on me. It's almost like, what's happened here? So yeah, it's quite a big responsibility. I keep saying, like, I don't feel like I'm managerial enough. Like, I don't like being confrontational and stuff, but I'm in a position now where I'm like, I've got a team to lead. Like, you need to get your socks on and actually wipe up.
Well, no, and you've done so well. Like, you've done so well bringing them on, because I know it did take a long time to do it. And then last year, because we've worked together on and off since I've been in the sector for the last 4 years. You've done the Pop Star program with me. We've done loads of work together. And when I announced that we were going to look to start building a team of strategists, what sparked your interest to do that? What made you think, actually, I want to do that?
Well, I think whatever you put out, I'm like, oh, yeah, I can do that. So I think it was a bit of a no-brainer when something new came. I was like, oh, well, of course I'm going to do that. But for me, it was reading the description of what a strategist does and looking into it. I almost felt like I've done this for 10 years, trialed and errored it. So if I can be certified to now use that knowledge to support other people, it's almost a no-brainer for me to do it. So that's where I was like, it's kind of now or never.
No, I think, yeah, it was definitely like a next logical step for you because you've done so much work anyway and you already like guide other people anyway. So, yeah, actually getting the certification gives you that extra, qualification behind you to say you've done it. And now, obviously, it's like official type thing. But the course was 9 weeks long, which is a big commitment for a start off for people because usually courses are like 6 weeks, but 9 weeks commitment, showing up every evening, going through all the different elements of what I call the impact system on what children's activity providers need to do to have basically a successful business. Because as you know, don't actually have to do everything. Because I think that's the thing, isn't it? We can get overwhelmed thinking they need to do every single thing when in effect they don't. They just need to do some core activities. What did you learn from doing that process over the 9 weeks with us that you could implement into your current business?
So in terms of Tots Play, it was really nice to see that things that I thought I was just winging was actually a thing. And, going through that process, it was like, oh, yeah, like I'm already doing that. Let's learn. And there was a few things that I thought, oh, actually, do you know what? I've not even delved into that. So next time something's not working, maybe this is what I need to try. I used the course a lot more for the business that I launched last year. Because obviously buying into a franchise, there's a lot of support from head office and things. There's a lot of guidance. Whereas the business I launched last year, I've started completely on my own. And I mean, it's done well for its first year.
What did you do? What have you done with the new business?
So with the new business, I launched it a year ago now. And I simply started off with an Instagram page, got straight onto the social media, started collaborating with a few other local businesses that almost had sort of the same ideal customers. And I was literally just promoting sort of freebies through that, giving guidance through that. And then I started hosting in-person workshops. So I did 3 in-person workshops with a group of young mums who, I mean, some of their babies were teeny tiny babies, like not even at the stage of speaking to be able to know how to make Qur'anic learning fun for their children at home. But it was just something that sparked their interest of if we have the knowledge earlier, we can implement it as soon as they're ready. So, yeah, I did 3 in-person workshops, which was really well received. I did an online workshop as well. That one was a little bit quieter. So again, made me realise that, you know what, people do want that in-person connection. Online is not the way to go with this. But it's almost given me that plan for the future. So I kind of know what I'm working towards in terms of offering things like mini guides that parents can just, low value. They're not spending loads and loads of money, but they're getting good value out of it. The long-term goal is, well, it was initially to have an online membership, but because of this shift in people do actually want in-person events and stuff, I'm sort of in that limbo of actually I would like to do some things in person, and then sort of launch the membership alongside so that I can target that wider market, because obviously in person I'm only targeting people in the Birmingham area, so I want to reach further than that. But I was also invited to an event in London, and I ran their creche, all based around what I'm doing. So, I mean, the opportunities in the year that have come about have been unbelievable. And it's not where I saw it going. I just thought there'd be a few people that I know, like friends and stuff, who are struggling with their children that would be like, oh, yeah, help us. But, yeah, it's been massive. But the impact system has helped me plan out and scope what's missing. So initially I launched with just sort of the Instagram, where I was giving free content, and then I was trying to promote the workshops, which was low value in terms of pricing. And then I was giving them sort of if you want to work with me, this is the 4-week program that I offer. But obviously the cost of that was a lot more. And people weren't immediately going for it like I thought they would. So going through the impact system, it actually made me realise, hold on, I need to have a few more touch points in between to help them build that confidence with me, for them to understand that I've got expertise in what I'm trying to promote. It's not just, sit down and play with your child. There's more to it. There's more in the background. And yeah, just being able to position myself into the market in the way that I wanted to. So it really helped me grow and build on that as well.
It sounds like you've done a hell of a lot over the last 12 months. And obviously, yeah, the system will help you, like you said, with all the positioning. And what I found interesting as well is when me and you had a conversation, because you're now observing other providers' activities and spotting things where there's a mismatch or misalignment in content or pricing. Like, just walk me through what you've seen now after seeing, because I think it just opens your eyes and then you see things that you might have not seen before.
Yeah, it definitely gives you a different perspective of what other people are doing. So like I said, I've seen recently a lot of businesses sort of relying very heavily on social media, and as if it's like the be all and end all. And, posting in Facebook groups, I'm sorry, but it's not going to get you fully booked classes. Like, you need to do more than that. There's a lot more that needs to be done. And then I'm a little bit nosy, and I love learning, which is why I end up doing all these different courses and stuff. But from that, it's sort of looking at, oh, okay, so that class was really struggling a few weeks ago, and you can see it because of the way they're, very desperately posting around.
Yeah.
And sort of popping onto their website and going, oh, well, you're charging X amount for a company that no one's heard of. Like, you're really out of your league, stretching yourself here. Something's not right. And just, it's almost in my head, I'm like, I can really help you because you just need to tweak something.
And sometimes it is just the small tweaks. It's the messaging. It's the ideal client. It's the actual product, or it's not sticky enough. It's not got no retention. It's got no back thing to keep people coming back. Or it's the sales, isn't it? It's like they haven't got a funnel. They don't actually know how many leads they need to get in. They don't know how to convert. There's like this whole of the different points that we went through. And it's a lot. When you train for it, then you see things. And then obviously when you work with a business owner, you can spot things a lot quicker because you're like, actually, this is what the problem is, because you can just evaluate it. I suppose it's like that analogy, isn't it? When people say they see white feathers everywhere. And it's because if you start looking for white feathers, you'll see the white feathers. So when you start realize, actually their messaging is off, or they're not connecting with their audience, they're not building they're not going live, they're not building a personal brand, they're not telling anyone about what they do. It's a lot easier to spot when you know what you're looking for.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So what's the plan for your strategist work? Like, who are the types of people that you would love to work with? What providers would you love to work with after obviously you've had, for everyone that's watching is Fatema is due to have her second baby in 5 weeks. So she's not going to be working with anyone straight away.
This was like a now or never. I was like, if I don't do the course now, it's easier for me to do it whilst growing a baby than whilst having a baby in the like, I need to do it now. Everyone thought I was mad when I said I was doing another course. They were like, what? Are you not just having a baby? I was like, well, yeah, but while the baby's inside, I can get this done as well. But yeah, the plan going forward is obviously to keep both businesses going. I'd like to grow my Arabic business more. But then with the strategist work, to be honest, I'm more than happy to support anyone that needs help. It's not down to, this is the particular niche you need to be in. I've already spoken to head office and said, look, if anyone needs any help, I'm more than happy to support them. But yeah, any children's activity is literally anyone that I can help, I'm more than happy to. I think, now that I'm an official strategist, it's almost like, okay, this is an actual thing. But I've always been the type of person that will reply to people's comments.
Well, yeah, and for anyone that's listening to this, like Fatima's got like 12 years of experience of running a successful franchise, has grown a team as well of teachers who are delivering classes, and is now established a new business. So she's done first year in business. And when you've been in business for this long, you can establish and set up businesses a lot quicker than anyone else, because you've already been to the rodeo, so you sort of know what to do. So it would be for any providers out there here who are looking to grow a team, because you've done that painful part and it's not easy getting the right people in for the team, and for people that who have starting out probably on their first year of their business journey, and obviously you've got a whole load of notes in your journals and your notebooks that we need to dig out. There'll be loads of gems in there that people can use. I'm sure there is, and then you can bring them back. But for anyone who is thinking about doing the strategist course, because we're going to be opening up the doors, like the doors will be open now when this interview goes live, what would you say to them?
If you've been running a business and you've made it work, you've been through the mistakes, you've been through the trenches with it, you've had the moments where you wanted to give up and you didn't, and you're still here, the course is definitely for you, because a lot of what you've been through on that roller coaster is what you can help other people implement. And I personally believe if you've been through the experience of it, especially those mistakes, especially the spending money on ads and you've not had a single penny back from it, all those different things, you're in the best position to support other people. So why not?
Yeah, for sure. And it is, again, any business is trial and error. And I think one of the things that providers that are starting out, and you can probably vouch for this, is they don't want to spend any money. They want to do everything for free. So that's why everything is shifted to social media and reliant on social media, because they want to do everything for free. But if you really want to run a successful business, you've got to spend money to make money, and you've got to invest money to make money. Because if you think about how much money you've probably spent over the last 12 years, just investing in yourself or investing in the business.
Investing in yourself is the best thing you can do, because it's not, for example, the strategist course, it's not just an investment of that course. The amount you're getting back from it, the amount you're learning, and the amount you can implement to so many different aspects of your life, that's priceless. And like you say, over the 12 years, the amount of courses and coaching and the amount of money that I've probably spent, but for me, I see that as an investment in myself. This is for me, it's for my growth, and I'm very big on that sort of personal growth. I get to a point in life where I'm like, okay, everything's running really smoothly, this is getting boring. And for me, especially in business, when things get boring, I'm like, no. If it gets boring, I'm going to give up on it, because there's no challenge. I need that challenge for myself.
Yeah, and you've probably invested heavily in your business over the years in terms of just flyering, attending events, all of that stuff costs money or time. It costs one of them, doesn't it? Nothing's done for free. And I think if people are looking to start a business, particularly a children's activity business, then they need to be thinking about how they grow that business more holistically, instead of being like, oh, just post on social media and everything will be okay, because it doesn't work like that.
Social media is a really crowded place at the moment. Even people that follow me religiously are like, oh, I didn't see that post, and I'm like, yeah.
So you need that whole integrated system in terms of visibility, marketing, sales, etc. Oh, well, it's so good to chat with you today, Fatema. Before we dive off, though, I want to know, what's the maternity leave plan for the second child? Because it doesn't sound like you got much of a proper experience on the first time around. So are we taking some time off?
I love that you've asked this question. Everyone in classes over the last 3 weeks has been like, so when are you off on maternity? And I'm like, I'm still here. So I am officially finishing classes next week. Next Friday will be my last sort of day at classes. I've got class leaders that will be running my Tots Play classes as normal, so that will be running. In terms of a maternity leave, I'm literally taking a leave from physically running classes. I'll still be doing all the admin, marketing, all the communications behind the scenes and stuff, because that's my baby. I can't hand that off to anyone else. But yeah, in terms of the Arabic, I've got sort of stuff that's just on autoflow that just keeps going out. Those systems have sort of already been in place because obviously I knew this was coming. So,
and are you going to take the little one to classes? Because you didn't get that opportunity, did you?
First daughter, because of COVID and everything, I didn't get out to classes with her till she was about 18 months old. So I've done the sort of toddler stuff. But now sort of I've made so many collaborations in the area that as soon as I found out, I was like, I'm coming to your class with my newborn. Because I didn't do any of the baby stuff. So this. So yeah, I'm hoping to do lots with this one. Fingers crossed.
It's going to be a busy maternity leave. So anyone that wants to connect with Fatema to find out more about her strategist work, we will put the link in this video so people can get in touch with you directly. Where do you want people to get in touch with you right now?
So at the moment, you can send me a WhatsApp if you've got any questions. We can obviously share my number. They can contact me on WhatsApp. And then I will have sort of an Instagram page for my strategist work.
They can come to our website and connect with you through WhatsApp. Brilliant. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Fatema. It's so appreciated. And if anyone is listening, if you're listening to this conversation and you think it resonates with someone that you know, please forward it on to them, share the YouTube channel, like, comment and subscribe so you can hear more interviews that we've got coming up throughout the whole year because there's loads coming. All right, then, my friends, have a good one. Bye for now.